high definition. This is KCAL 9 News at noon.
And right now at noon, an emotional outpouring. Students wear white to school today for a classmate on life support after a car accident. Good afternoon, I'm Dave Gonzalez.
And I'm Sandra Mitchell. Our top story on KCAL 9 News at noon. For the first time now, we are getting a look at the man accused in that crash that left a 14-year-old girl in grave condition. Investigators just released Austin Farley's mugshot. 2 times before, Farley has been arrested for DUI-related cases. He's 26 years old and he has a 7-year history of run-ins with the law. KCAL 9's Kirk Hawkins today talked with students at the victim's school.
Students returned to campus earlier this morning for the first time since the crash, and this time they had a very clear message. It began with a walker and then a cyclist.
I still feel really bad. I still feel that it shouldn't have happened.
In no time, students were streaming through the crosswalks, and they were all wearing white.
Just like her story, and it was like all over on Facebook. It was just really sad.
A show of unity after Ashton Sweet, their friend and fellow Northwood High School student, was taken to the hospital in very grave condition after a tragic DUI crash.
It's really cool to see everyone like coming together for this.
Ashton's injuries are so severe she's on life support. Doctors are trying to harvest her organs.
Certainly it's our staff and our student both really devastated by this.
Even the principal wore white to support the effort organized by students. She says several grief counselors will be on campus today.
The best we can do is be there for them, support them, and try to create outlets for them to deal with this in a positive way.
26-year-old Austin Farley is the suspected drunk driver in custody for causing the crash. He's been arrested for DUI twice before and also has a lengthy criminal record. As he waits for word of his charges, students from his victim's school recognize their daily path to campus might never be the same again.
We will try to not only appreciate who she was and treat everyone and her memory with proper respect, but that we will also be stronger for this.
Right now, it's unclear if the suspect will appear in an Orange County courtroom as early as today or even tomorrow. In Irvine, Kirk Hawkins, KCAL 9 News.
Some developing news here. A short time ago, jurors recommended the death penalty for a local man convicted of hiring someone to kill his wife. 48-year-old James Fayed will be officially sentenced in September. He was convicted May 19th of masterminding the murder for financial gain. Pamela Fayed was stabbed 13 times. Her body was found near her SUV in Century City in a parking garage there. Prosecutors say that her husband wanted her dead because he thought he was going to tell federal investigators about problems with his gold trading business. 3 other men charged with her murder are still awaiting trial.
Arraignment just postponed a few moments ago for a Rosemead man accused of killing his mother and burying her body in a backyard. John Nguyen appeared briefly in court today. This is Pomona. But the arraignment proceedings were pushed back to next week. The reason? Well, the defendant just got a new attorney. Nguyen charged with stabbing his mother to death 9 years ago and then burying her remains behind a condominium. Lawyers for the man accused of beating baseball fan Brian Stowe into a coma say they plan to show proof today that he is innocent. Giovanni Ramirez's lawyers say they're planning to meet with LA detectives later today. They want to give them some new evidence they say shows their client is not guilty. Ramirez's mother told KCAL 9 News that despite her son's violent past, he did not beat Brian Stowe on opening day.
I'm sure 100% that it's not my son.
And when you tell them that, what do they say to you?
Oh, good luck.
Tomorrow, Ramirez is scheduled to take a lie detector test.
Dodger legend Tommy Lasorda is recovering at his home today after spending 4 days in the hospital. 83-year-old was treated for a bacterial infection. The team is not revealing any additional details. Lasorda, of course, managed the Dodgers for 20 years, won a couple of World Series. He retired in 1996. He now serves as a special advisor to the Dodgers.
And our other hometown team, the Lakers, getting ready to introduce their new head coach today. The team will have a news conference this afternoon at 3 o'clock to welcome Coach Mike Brown. The former Cleveland Cavaliers coach takes over for the retiring Phil Jackson. Brown was an NBA Coach of the Year after the 2008-2009 season. He says he wants the Lakers to advance farther in the playoffs next year after this year's disappointing second-round loss. Of course, you can see that news conference as it happens live right here on KCAL 9 News. Again, that's coming up this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Well, swimmers and surfers are being told to be extra careful today. There is a high surf warning. Just went into effect earlier this morning. We're going to get a look at the weather now as we check in with our meteorologist, Rich Fields.
Hi, Sandra. Yes, not only the surf, but another astronomical high tide tonight at 8:45. The high tide will be 6.5 feet higher than normal, so keep that in mind. Nice shot here from Long Beach. Still a beautiful day out there. A carbon copy of yesterday again for today, maybe a degree or two cooler. We're still under the influence of high pressure, although the ridge of high pressure starting to weaken and some cloud cover starting to come into the area. Here's our next trough of low pressure, and if you watch the counterclockwise circulation, you can almost see it there. There's the center of the low already making landfall north of San Francisco for those folks. It's going to stay to the north, folks, for the most part, but here in Southern California, we're relatively clear because of the high pressure. We start to have some high clouds starting to filter in now because of the trough of low pressure that's on its way for tomorrow. But here's the high surf advisory. It's in effect till 9 a.m. on Thursday. We could expect waves up to 10 feet. Folks, can you believe that? Double-digit wind speeds through Lancaster and Oxnard and a current temperature of 70 degrees. What's the daytime high expected for today in the 5-day forecast? All that information is coming up. Dave, back to you.
All right, sir. Thank you for that. Afghan President Hamid Karzai is demanding that NATO stop attacking civilian homes. His warning comes after 14 women and children were killed over the weekend. KCAL 9's Tina Kraus shows us anger is also growing among the Afghan population.
Afghan President Hamid Karzai is telling NATO from now on he'll call the shots.
The Afghan people can no longer tolerate these attacks on their homes.
Karzai says NATO airstrikes on houses must stop because they're killing too many innocent people.
Afghanistan is an ally, not an occupied country.
But NATO officials say the attacks are needed to battle insurgents. Afghan anger is growing after NATO forces mistakenly killed a group of children and women in a strike on Saturday. NATO apologized for the deaths, saying militants were hiding in the homes. The military alliance says strikes are only carried out with the approval of the Afghan government. It's unclear if President Karzai has the power to stop the bombardments because NATO and American forces are in Afghanistan under a United Nations mandate. The UN says insurgents are responsible for at least 3/4 of civilian casualties. This Taliban bomb attack on Monday killed at least 4 Afghans and injured dozens more. Tina Kraus, KCAL 9 News.
Well, another international businessman has now been arrested on charges that he sexually assaulted a New York hotel maid. KCAL 9's Manuel Gallegos reports the accused is the chairman of one of the Middle East's biggest salt producers.
Officers brought Mahmoud Abdel Salam Omar to a booking facility near the courthouse early this morning. The prominent Egyptian businessman is accused of sexually assaulting a maid at a New York City luxury hotel. The 74-year-old used to head one of Egypt's most powerful banks and is currently chairman of one of the Middle East's largest salt producers. His arrest comes just weeks after former International Monetary Fund chief Dominique Strauss-Kahn was charged with sexually assaulting a housekeeper at a hotel near Times Square. This alleged incident happened Sunday at the Pierre on Manhattan's Upper East Side. According to police, the maid says she was called to Omar's 10th floor room to drop off tissues, but when she entered the room, he would not let her leave and touched her inappropriately. Detectives are calling the complaint credible. Omar faces arraignment here at Manhattan's criminal court, the same courthouse where Strauss-Kahn was arraigned and negotiated bail. Strauss-Kahn is due back in court Friday. He's denied charges that include attempted rape and sexual abuse and is under house arrest in a multi-million-dollar townhouse. Omar may have to answer sexual abuse, unlawful imprisonment, and harassment charges. The Pierre Hotel said in a statement its priority is the safety of its guests and staff and that it will fully comply with the investigation. In New York, Manuel Gallegos, KCAL 9 News.
Well, the housing market continues its downward spiral. Prices in the Southland are at the lowest level in 5 years. So is it a good time to buy? We'll take a look at that question. Plus this.
He was speeding really bad from LAX. I let him pass by, and he was just driving so recklessly.
They say he was speeding, weaving, and even caused a wreck. You're going to hear more of the 911 calls as drivers report soccer star David Beckham's wild ride on the 405. Also a chaotic scene. Trial watchers camp out for their chance to get a courtroom seat inside the Casey Anthony murder trial. Plus the grandmother of the young murder victim takes the stand today. And it's a new way to inspire and encourage young girls. The local author of the new book, Patty Pompoms, joins us live. She's going to show us how children can discover their true talents. And here's a quick look at the top stories on our website this afternoon. For more information on these, go to KCAL9.com, where we're always on. We'll be right back.
You're watching KCAL 9 News at noon.
And scramble is on this afternoon to evacuate homes and businesses along the Missouri River in South Dakota. The governor there is advising residents to pack up possessions, secure their homes, and be out by late Thursday. And folks are being told to prepare to be away from their homes for several months. Army Corps of Engineers is releasing record amounts of water from the dams on the Missouri, and the releases could go on for weeks. The Missouri is swollen from the heavy rains and the spring snowmelt. New details this afternoon about a deadly bus crash in Virginia. Federal officials say that bus was involved in several crashes in the past 2 years. The Sky Express tour bus overturned on Interstate 95. This is Caroline County, Virginia. Apparently was on its way from Greensboro, North Carolina to New York City. 4 people were killed and dozens of passengers were hurt. And they were taken to local hospitals. Some of them do have life-threatening injuries. You see the bus overturned right there. Charlotte-based Sky Express has been cited 17 times for unsafe driving violations and 46 times for violations related to fatigued driving.
The cause of the crash is related to a fatigued driver. The driver ran off the right side of the road and overturned after he struck the embankment and came to rest on his roof. The driver of the bus has some minor injuries and was treated right there on the scene. Investigators have not said if they're going to file any charges. 911 calls are revealing some details about a crash involving soccer star David Beckham. Beckham's accused of speeding and driving dangerously on a local freeway. KCAL 9's Suzanne Marquez has the emergency calls from 2 drivers.
911 reporting.
When drivers reported the crash in Torrance on the 405 South Friday morning, May 7th, they didn't know who was behind the wheel of the black Escalade. It was his driving that caught their attention.
Somebody hit the stalled car?
The CHP says David Beckham rear-ended another car that was stalled in the carpool lane. Its driver was taken to the hospital but didn't suffer serious injuries. Beckham and his 12-year-old son Brooklyn were unharmed, and he wasn't cited at the scene. But at least 2 calls to 911 report he was driving recklessly miles before the crash happened. One woman called 911 when she saw the accident.
Is anybody hurt?
I don't know. I just keep on driving, but I just want to let you know that the guy with the SUV was speeding all the way from LAX.
Okay, so the guy in the SUV that hit the stalled car was speeding?
He was speeding really bad from LAX. I let him pass by, and he was just driving so recklessly.
Another witness called with a similar story.
There was a car with its hazard lights on in the carpool lane that had stalled out or something, and he rammed it in the butt. And he was definitely speeding and cutting in and out of the double yellow line prior to that. He was right in front of me.
A spokesman for David Beckham defended his client, telling TMZ, as unfortunate as accidents are, David was not cited by the police at the scene for any violations. Suzanne Marquez, KCAL 9 News.
NASA now getting ready for the last launch of the shuttle program. Shuttle Atlantis prepares for its final mission in July. Take a look at video of Atlantis' last launch. This was 1 year ago. NASA says Atlantis will be moved to its launch pad at the Kennedy Space Center later this evening. The rollout of the Atlantis begins about 5 o'clock our time. The crew will be commanded by Chris Ferguson. Liftoff scheduled for July 8th. And the shuttle Endeavour set to return to Earth late tonight.
One coming down, another getting ready to go up.
They're fantastic. Have you seen it launch in person?
I have not.
Man, it's incredible.
Time's running out, huh?
I think you're about done. Yeah, exactly. Nice day underway today.
Yep.
Gonna
It's gorgeous outside.
Very nice. A carbon copy of today, yesterday again for today, and then tomorrow a little bit change up in the atmosphere for us. Not that it's going to bring us any big weather event or anything like that, but certainly a little cooler temperatures and some cloud cover. Let's go outside and take a look at the beach right now, where we have those high surf advisories posted for us here in Southern California. We're expecting swells along west and south facing beaches to about 10 feet, folks, anywhere from 5 to 9, with some swells up to 10 feet. But very volatile along the beaches, and this is through Thursday, maybe, possibly, might even carry on through Friday, actually, for the high surf. And that astronomical high tide is tonight at 8:45, where we expect the high tide to be 6.5 feet higher than normal out at the beaches, all coastlines around Southern California. All right, well, let's go through some of the maps and numbers and see what we got going on right now. Downtown Los Angeles sitting at 70. We topped out at 76 degrees yesterday. Don't think we're going to get quite to 76 today, but certainly you're going to be into the low to mid 70s. Burbank in the mid 70s, Irvine 72, San Bernardino and Riverside in the 70s as well. San Bernardino may hit 80 today, but then that's going to be short-lived. Tomorrow, everybody's going to cool off a little bit. High pressure is still in control, at least for today, through tonight, as a matter of fact. Low pressure moves in late tonight, early tomorrow morning. It's going to cool us off a few degrees and some high cloud cover, and then we're going to have warming again Thursday and Friday, and then cooling again for the weekend, breezy and cool. So it's a little up and down thing we got going on for the next couple of days here in the Los Angeles area. Well, we're expecting today's daytime high downtown to be about 73, 74. Tomorrow, about 70 degrees downtown. Look at the cool off for the San Fernando Valley, where today it's going to be in the 80s, certainly 73 degrees for tomorrow. As a matter of fact, right here at our broadcast center, 80 degrees already in the San Fernando Valley. Anaheim, Orange County, anywhere from mid-60s to low 70s, mid-70s for Chino Hills, and out toward Riverside and San Bernardino. San Bernardino, you'll come in at about 71 tomorrow. Riverside at about 75. Palm Springs near 90 after topping out yesterday in the mid-90s. Well, here we are. Our ridge of high pressure is kind of breaking down a little bit. Some high cloud cover starting to come into the picture. It's going to move off and flatten out for us as this trough of low pressure skirts across Northern California tomorrow. Late tonight, early tomorrow. This is Wednesday's low. It's going to drag in some of this high cloud cover for us. It's going to give us onshore flow and cool us off a few degrees. Then a little ridge of high pressure is going to build back in for us. A little bit of warming again for Thursday and Friday. And then the weekend low right there. This one's going to come sliding in again to our north. Not that it's going to bring us any big rain event or anything, although there is a slight chance of a scattered passing shower for Ventura County on Sunday. And that might even come into northern Los Angeles County, but it's a very slight chance at this point. We're certainly going to keep our eye on it. Dodgers taking on the Rockies, game 2 tonight. I think we won one last night, didn't we, Dave? Yay, that's 2 in a row, right? Oh my gosh. Alert the media. Wait, we are the media. 59 at 7:10. Partly cloudy and cool tonight out there for the Dodger game. Should be another nice night out at Chavez Ravine. 67 for the daytime hideout, the beaches. Check out the cloud cover through the period. It's going to, as these lows start running in, the cloud cover is going to pick up. 73 for the valleys and Inland Empire. A little warming for Thursday and Friday, and then we knock right back down below 70 degrees for the weekend. And downtown Los Angeles, low pressure passes a spy tomorrow. 70 for the daytime high. Breezy on Thursday. Very little change as we head into Friday, and cooler once we hit the weekend once again. After the weekend, you guys, we start warming up once again. Sandra, Dave, back to you.
All right, Rich, thank you. Overseas, explosions rock 3 different Ikea stores. Workers and customers run for safety. We're going to have the latest on that investigation.
And it's an unusual house that you have to see to believe. The local man's dream home can actually land him in jail. We'll explain why.
Also, a neighborhood battle heats up near the Gene Autry Museum. We're going to show you how some of the residents there are calling on the city council to help lasso plans to expand the museum.
And remember, you can send us your photos and your videos to streetteam@cbs.com, and you might see them right here on KCAL 9.
Choose your safari. Caravan. Which safari will you choose? At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
We like to make winning your Social Security disability benefits as comfortable for you as we can.
We'll deal with the government. You have enough to worry about.
Lots of times you stay home and we work on the phone. Call 1-800-66-BINDER.
When you need a dentist,
What goes through your mind? Quality, comfort, convenience, cost. At Western Dental, you'll get all of these, whether it's for a cleaning and checkup, or braces, Invisalign, or even dental implants. And we'll make it affordable, with interest-free installments even if you have poor credit. Call us at 1-800-6DENTAL. You deserve the best.
Aerial coverage from Sky 9 is brought to you by your hometown Stater Brothers Supermarket, where you always get more for less.
A degree from Bryan College in court reporting will prepare you for a fast-growing legal career. A career in court reporting offers great income, job stability, flexible work schedule, and a fascinating work environment.
I decided to choose court reporting as my career because it was one of the careers that when looking for a job, I found it to be recession-proof.
Call or visit us online and start the path to your court reporting career today.
There are many symptoms of depression, like feeling sad, blue, hopeless, and alone. It can change your mood, who you are, and how you see yourself. Depression can fill you with feelings that eventually steal the joy and happiness from your life. Sound like you? If so, you may qualify for an investigational medication research study for depression. Take a self-test online at no cost and learn more at prihope.com or call PRI 1-888-PRI-HOPE.
Home prices are down again. It looks like the housing market is still on that downward spiral. Prices in major cities, including Los Angeles, now have reached their lowest levels since the housing bubble burst. That was back in 2006. According to Standard & Poor's, home prices fell for the 8th straight month. LA was down 1.7% in March. Experts are blaming increasing foreclosures, a surplus of unsold homes, and buyer reluctance.
An Acton man could go to jail for building his dream home. The compound is known as Stonehenge West. It's on Shannon Valley Road out in Acton. KCAL 9's Rachel Kim reports that the county says that the property is a maze of dangerous eyesores.
The view from Kim Fahey's 1.7-acre Acton property is breathtaking. The view on the ground for Fahey, heartbreaking.
But I'm under a stop-all work order, so I can't do anything.
For almost 3 decades, Kim Fahey has built what is known as Stonehenge West, a maze of interconnected buildings that includes a 70-foot tower and a lot of history.
That's the original house. It was built in 1938.
Fahey used to work as a phone technician in Hollywood and has made the entire property from recycled wood and equipment he's collected from his job over the years. In 2008, LA County code enforcement officials ordered him to stop building. They say the 20,000 square foot compound violates building and fire codes. They want him to tear it down.
I initially had some run-ins with the county, then they backed off, and then they didn't bother me for like 20 years. We had a couple little things, like in '98, I gave some plans for this barn here, but then they lost my plans and they never came back out.
So Fahey kept building and expanding. Chickens, colorful bridges, workshops, and the steel staircase from Danny DeVito that leads up to the barn full of collectibles. It's all, according to Fahey, home and a work of art. Like many structures here, this library/museum stands unfinished. Fahey says when he passes, he wants to leave this property half to his family, the other half to the Acton community. He hopes he'll be able to finish what he started so that many people can enjoy what he calls a one-of-a-kind property.
Now, okay, so I broke a few infractions and blah, blah, blah. You can work it out. None of my buildings are going to fall over. They're way over their code.
Fahey's jury trial began last week. Prosecutors have charged him with 14 criminal misdemeanor counts that include maintenance of unpermitted properties and unlawful use of land. He could spend up to 7 years in prison if found guilty.
We're going to fight this out to the end, and we'll just see how it goes. I'm not going to tear my place down for these guys.
Reporting from Acton, Rachel Kim, KCAL 9 News.
Well, still ahead, some married women are really fed up. We're going to show you why they're blaming technology for their marital problems.
And it was a scandal that brought down a politician, but did Senator John Edwards actually break any laws when it came to his extramarital affair? Some new details on that coming up.
And Campaign 2012 is heating up today. More hopefuls announcing their intentions to enter the race for president. We'll take a look at some of the contenders.
But first, chaos outside the court. Find out why people were spotted running into the Casey Anthony murder trial. Plus, the grandmother of the young murder victim takes the stand today.
Think about it. You wouldn't take your broken furniture to a lumberjack, and you sure wouldn't take your motorcycle to an auto mechanic. If you're a biker and you've been injured in an accident, don't call just any attorney. Bring your case to me. I'm Russ Brown, the motorcycle attorney who rides. I know how to handle your case. Don't fight the insurance companies with just any lawyer. Call 1-800-FOR-BIKERS. And ask for me, Russ Brown.
Stop paying too much for auto insurance. For the lowest rates on auto insurance from $15 a month, call Freeway Insurance. It doesn't matter if you have tickets, accidents, or DUI. Call Freeway for auto insurance from $15 a month. Call now and get 24-hour roadside assistance free. Includes battery service, lost keys, tire change, emergency gas, mechanic assist, and more free. With your auto insurance as low as $15 a month. Call now at 800-481-6767. 800-481-6767. Freeway, it's that thing you're speeding on.
I bought beautiful carpet for this room, and I got carpet for this room free. Plus this room free.
Buy one, get two free from Empire.
800-588-2300 Today.
Caring neighbors make strong communities. Following the teachings of our ancestors, the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians is making a difference, providing millions of dollars for health care. Recently for cancer research and treatment to Loma Linda University Medical Center. Our tribe is giving back to the community, helping to create new medical breakthroughs for future generations.
Indian tribes and California together, one community.
I got a lot more for my gold and diamonds at Kevin Jewelers.
Sell your gold to Kevin Jewelers. Get a 30% bonus and a $50 gift card. With 29 locations, there is a Kevin Jewelers in a mall near you.
Why go anywhere else? Get more cash at Kevin Jewelers.
California should be proud. We were the first to ban smoking on airplanes. The first to have smoke-free bars and restaurants. All while saving over $86 billion in healthcare costs. And over 1 million lives. We've done a good job. But even if you were born today, you'd still grow up in a world where tobacco kills more people than AIDS, drugs, alcohol, murder, and car crashes. Combined, we have a lot more work to do.
In high definition, this is KCAL 9 News at noon.
Another day of emotional testimony in Casey Anthony's murder trial. Her mother broke down in tears in the witness stand. People rushed to get the 50 seats that had been saved for the public in Orlando this morning. Inside, Cindy Anthony told jurors that her daughter said she needed space in 2008, and that's why Casey stayed away with her 2-year-old daughter, Kaylee. But prosecutors allege that Casey killed Kaylee and hid the body in the trunk of her car. Casey's family retrieved the car from a tow yard.
It smelled like something had died in the car. And we had opened all the trunk, the hood of the car. George took the battery out of the car because we were afraid that Casey might come home and take the car.
Cindy Anthony also testified that she found her granddaughter's favorite doll in the trunk. Casey Anthony's defense is that Kaylee drowned in the family pool and her grandfather found the body and covered up the crime.
Former Senator John Edwards might be hours away now from being indicted by a federal grand jury. KCAL 9's Jan Crawford reports Edwards is being investigated to see if he used campaign money to hide his mistress.
I will fight with everything I have.
A federal grand jury has been investigating whether Edwards misused up to $1 million in presidential campaign contributions to cover up his long-term affair with former aide Rielle Hunter. CBS News has learned that last week, Edwards secretly met with reclusive heiress Rachel Bunny Mellon, the donor to the former presidential candidate. Prosecutors suspect Mellon helped finance attempts to keep the affair quiet.
That the status quo is yesterday.
Edwards denies he violated campaign finance laws, but prosecutors are closing in.
They could conclude that that was a misuse of campaign money for personal purposes, which would violate the campaign finance laws.
Let's make America stronger at home.
It would be a steep fall for a man once so near the pinnacle of power. John Edwards lived on a public stage, a multimillionaire trial lawyer who was elected U.S. Senator in his first campaign for the office, the Democratic nominee for vice president in 2004, and then a contender for the White House in the 2008 election.
The campaign goes on.
And all the while, he was seen as a devoted father and loving husband of wife Elizabeth. But in 2006, Edwards began an affair with Hunter, who produced videos for his campaign.
I'd rather be successful or unsuccessful based on who I really am.
A year later, the National Enquirer reported the two were having an affair, and then the bombshell: Hunter was pregnant with his child. Edwards first denied the child was his and concocted a story that his assistant was the baby's father, but it was all a lie. Edwards eventually acknowledged he was the father of Hunter's baby. He and his wife Elizabeth separated, and she died of cancer last December. Now, almost 6 months after her death, John Edwards faces a possible criminal indictment as early as this Wednesday.
John Edwards has not commented publicly about this investigation, but the federal grand jury in North Carolina has spent the past 2 years listening to testimony from key players in that case.
5 Republicans have already officially announced they want to be the GOP nomination for the presidency. Several others are still considering whether to run. And as KCAL 9's Danielle Nottingham shows us now, Sarah Palin hasn't committed to a campaign, but she is on a bus tour of the East Coast.
Sarah Palin continues her mystery tour of the East Coast. Her bus stopped overnight in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, where the former Alaska governor mingled with voters.
What's your name? Linda, so nice to meet you.
But Palin is playing hard to get with members of the media.
What do you think the odds are that you will run?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
So far, Palin's tour has stopped in Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and Pennsylvania, but she has not announced her itinerary, leaving reporters scrambling.
Palin is having a big effect on the GOP run for the White House. The attention her bus tour is getting threatens to overshadow other Republicans who are already out campaigning.
In New Hampshire, Tea Party favorite Michelle Bachmann spent her Memorial Day speaking with veterans.
Please stand now that we might offer you our thanks and appreciation.
She plans to announce if she's in the race next month. Bachmann would join the field of 5 candidates who have already declared. Mitt Romney's also heading to New Hampshire this week. He will make it official on Thursday. Sarah Palin may be making headlines, but polls show Romney is still the one to beat. At the White House, Danielle Nottingham, KCAL 9 News.
The U.S. military soon might declare certain computer hacking cases acts of war. The Wall Street Journal is reporting the Pentagon now considering military force as a possible response to computer sabotage from another country. The new formalized response comes after repeated security breaches on the Pentagon's computer network. Officials will release details of this new cyber strategy next month.
Ikea stores in Belgium and France, as well as the Netherlands, have been hit by explosions, and police suspect that they are indeed linked. No one has been seriously hurt. In Belgium, 2 small explosions went off just before closing time. The devices are described as fireworks type of explosives attached to alarm clocks. Ikea officials say that they have not received any threats, and so far police have no leads. The stores have reopened.
Well, Russia now is banning all vegetables imported from Spain and Germany because of a deadly E. coli outbreak. At least 15 people have died in Germany. Hundreds there have become sick. Most of the patients are from or have been to northern Germany. Other cases also reported in Sweden, the UK, the Netherlands, and Denmark. Authorities say the infections were probably caused by contaminated raw tomatoes, cucumbers, and lettuce. Spanish workers at the produce plants in the Granada region are throwing away now tons of produce.
A new era dawns today in Tibet. The Dalai Lama relinquishes his power. Longtime spiritual leader today formally gave up his political and administrative duties. The Dalai Lama approved constitutional amendments that will transfer his responsibilities to elected leaders and the judiciary, but he remains the Tibetan spiritual leader. Coming up next here, Health Watch will reveal some new promising and surprising findings about chronic fatigue syndrome.
Also, video game addicts could be told it is game over. See why some people are blaming gaming for breakups. And a former school teacher now reaching a wider audience. She's written her first children's book. It's called Patty Pompoms. She joins us live to show us how children can discover their true talents. We'll be right back.
What a deal! I can afford it all. I can't believe it.
Here's another amazing deal from Anna's. Bedna bags, only $29.99, any size. Each one includes a bed skirt, fitted sheet, flat sheet, pillowcases, comforter, and shams. These Bedna bags sell for $100 at department stores, but at Anna's, they're only $29.99, any size. Stay on budget and make your bedroom beautiful today.
I love Anna's.
Love that sun shining down on me. Got all my friends and family. I like that. Ooh, California. Love it all over. From Malibu, Hollywood, I'm feeling you. Hey, oh, oh. Even when the sun don't shine, it's all good to me. Ooh, California.
Farther to the right.
I can't. He's not letting me.
Why is grass green?
1 second, sweetheart.
What's gravity? Why is the sky blue? How do birds fly?
This is a problem. But now there's the Y Stopper from your friends at 76 Gas. Our knowledge retrieval professionals have recorded the answer to almost any child's question.
A platypus is a mammal and it lays eggs.
So you can drive in peace.
Butterflies taste with their feet.
The Y Stopper from 76. We're not just top-tier gas. We're on the driver's side.
I can't believe this is how I have to watch TV. Should have never canceled cable.
I'm guessing you can't afford it because you're paying too much for car insurance.
I'm paying out the wazoo.
Talk to Titan Insurance Sales. Titan offers great insurance for as little as $1 a day.
Wow, I'll call Titan today.
I've rescued you.
Oh, show. Give me some.
My arms are stuck to my body.
Titan offers great auto insurance for as little as $1 a day. Call 1-800-TIGHTEN-UP today.
Hi, I'm Mark Gold, founder of The Ticket Clinic, a professional law corporation. The Ticket Clinic concentrates on fighting traffic tickets and DUIs. So don't pay that ticket. With over 20 years experience and over 1 million tickets resolved, we know the law and the defenses that work.
I got a ticket for running a red light. The Ticket Clinic got me no points, no school, and no court.
It's easy and affordable. From only $199, an experienced ticket lawyer will go to court for you. So don't pay that ticket. Call us now at 1-800-999-6999.
On Health Watch this afternoon, the World Health Organization now says it believes there is a possible cancer risk from using cell phones. The agency today said it is now putting cell phones in the same cancer hazard category that includes lead, chloroform, and engine exhaust. 31 scientists from the World Health Organization looked at several studies. They say there needs to be more study done here to make a definite link between cell phone radiation and cancer, but there is already enough evidence to prompt a public warning.
Also on Health Watch this afternoon, a change in reasoning now. Years ago, some researchers said they thought a mouse-related virus was connected to chronic fatigue syndrome. Well, they said they found that virus in the blood of their patients. Today, the journal Science reports new studies found the results were caused by laboratory contamination. 10 other studies also failed to find a link. Brain scans could be used to help diagnose autism early. Doctors at Columbia University were able to identify children with autism because of a section of their brain was less active. Right now, the disorder is not diagnosed until children have symptoms like repetitive behaviors and impaired language. Also, stress apparently does not increase the risk of developing multiple sclerosis. Scientists in Norway followed more than 100,000 women, and they could not find a link. However, stress can cause fatigue and muscle problems for those already diagnosed with MS. That's according to the study.
Spending too much time playing video games could actually lead to divorce. A study by the website Divorce Online says that more women are reporting that video games are a problem for their marriage. 15% of those surveyed said that video games were part of the undesirable behavior. That's up 5% from just 1 year ago.
Up next, she is a school instructor, and now she's reaching a bigger audience. She just wrote her first children's book. It's called Patty Pompoms. Local author joining us live next to show us how children can discover their true talents.
And did you notice the cost of your barbecue meal cost more this year? We'll take a look at what's behind the big food price hike. Stay with us.
KCAL 9 News is brought to you by Legoland, California. Visit Legoland.com to plan your trip today.
How big is your imagination? It's the world's first Legoland water park. And it's even more fun than you ever imagined. The new Legoland water park, now open, only at Legoland, California.
How do I deal with joint pain? I use the power of nature.
Introducing Icy Hot Naturals with natural menthol that gets icy to dull pain, hot to relax it away fast, plus 4 essential oils for a fresh scent. New Icy Hot Naturals, powerful pain relief.
Powered by nature.
When you need to know, count on KNX 1070 News Radio for the most up-to-date news, business, sports, traffic, and weather.
KNX 1070 News Radio.
Aerial coverage from Sky 9 is brought to you by your hometown Stater Brothers Supermarket, where you always get more for less.
Phantom, an over-the-top spectacle. You've never seen it like this. Andrew Lloyd Webber's glittering musical. Las Vegas audiences can't keep their eyes off the Strip's most critically acclaimed hit. It's more than a show. Phantom, only at the Venetian.
This is not a prescription. This is Stacy, who runs circles around asthma. And Dan, he never lets high cholesterol get him too low. And Amy, with her arthritis well in hand. They go to Walgreens, where their pharmacist not only refills prescriptions, but gives advice, immunizations, and health tests. Staying on top of your health starts right in your neighborhood. Walgreens, there's a way to stay well.
If a physical or mental disability stops you from working, you may have the right to collect money from Social Security and SSI. Call a lawyer who is also a psychologist. Call the disability lawyer, Dr. Bill Latour. Call toll-free, 1-800-803-5090. There's no fee unless you win. If you're disabled and can't work, get the money and benefits you deserve. Call 1-800-803-5090.
You're watching KCAL 9 News at noon.
Our next guest seems to have done it all. She's a successful educator with a master's degree. She was even a professional cheerleader for the LA Raiders and the Oakland Raiders.
But now Elise Cayenne adds the title of children's book author to her already impressive resume. Here's the book. It's called Patty Pompoms, and Elise joins us now. Her story is about a young girl who works hard to realize a dream. It's actually written to inspire children to discover their talents. Elise, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So why did you write this book? I was asking you if it's autobiographical. We know you were a cheerleader. You work with children.
That's correct. Actually, there were a couple reasons why I wrote the book. Number one, I'm a firm believer that getting involved in the learning environment helps students, accomplish their academic goals. For me, it was a motivator. I knew that in order to be involved in school, I had to do well in my classes. But it also wanted to point light at the fact that cheerleading is very much a sport in its rehearsals and its practices and competitions. And that seems to be quite an interesting topic lately with cheerleading and the proposing of cheerleading as an Olympic sport.
Wait, what about that? There's criticism on one side, and there are those who are espousing the ideas that you are about cheerleading. It's kind of a controversial topic right now.
Yes, and it's different on different levels. I will say this, as a cheerleader in high school, it's more collegiate with cheers and chants and dangerous stunts, as opposed to professional cheerleading, which is really dancing on the sidelines.
It's changed a lot over the years, too. It's
absolutely.
not just holding up the pom-poms anymore and dancing around. There's a lot of gymnastics and everything like that involved. So let's talk about the book. I had a chance to read the book, and Patty in the book is a little girl who just can't seem to find her way. She's not sure what she can do and do well. And I think along with the message that you just talked about is that if you stick with something, you're going to find what's right for you.
Absolutely. She's determined. She wants to find her place. She wants to find her talent and be a part of something. And she eventually does.
And this book is, you're hoping to be the first in a series, right?
Correct. It's the first of 3 books. and the first to be published, and I hope that the other two will follow.
And is the plan to keep them all about Patty?
Yes.
Okay.
Patty's the main character, and they are still school and life lessons that she's yet to endure.
Now, you're actually a high school instructor, but this is targeted at younger children, I would imagine. What's the age group this book will be appropriate for?
I'd say anywhere from ages 3 to 8, loosely. It's in rhythmic couplets. I did that on purpose because cheerleaders usually chant and rhyme. I wanted it to be lighthearted and rhythmical, and the other two books will be the same.
Do you have children? Well, we lost a light there. Do you have children yourself?
No, I don't. Many adopted ones from school. They would disagree with you on that, but no, I do not.
And you were a teacher at what, Reseda High School? So?
Teacher at Reseda High.
And now a new series on police officers coming up, is that right?
I'm dabbling in a bunch of topics, to be honest with you. I wear many hats. I love education, love what I do, but I also enjoy writing on several different levels and work in a law enforcement program that has really drawn my attention to the fascination with police officers, particularly when dealing with students who want to be police officers and are so self-directed at such a young age.
Wow, very interesting. Fascinating. Good luck with the book.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
being
much.
Here. Thanks. All right, for more information about the book, Patty Pompoms, visit our website. It's KCAL9.com. You can click Seen on TV. Elise Cayenne, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Still ahead here, Rich Fields will join us with another look at the forecast. Take a look at that high surf warning along some of the south-facing beaches as well.
Also, maybe you noticed the cost of barbecuing costs more. We're going to take a look at what is behind that big price hike. We'll be right back.
The Legoland Water Park is now open.
So beautiful in Honolulu. Thousands of people came together for the 13th annual Lantern Floating Ceremony. Buddhists staged this Memorial Day event to honor those lost to war and natural disasters. 40,000 spectators watched as 3,000 of those handmade glowing lanterns were released into the ocean. They all represent prayers for peace. Back here, the summer cookout could cost us more. Firing up the barbecue is getting more expensive. KCAL 9's Julie Watts has a closer look now at the price tag.
If the burgers at this year's Memorial Day barbecue seemed a little deflated, you may have inflation to thank.
I paid around $100, $60 or $70 just on meat.
Nationwide, the average cost of a Memorial Day barbecue is up 29%. Not exactly surprising to those grilling beneath the Golden Gate.
I think it would have to do with gas. Obviously the price of gas.
But while gas is the driving factor behind the hike in food prices, gas is up more than 33% in the past year, it doesn't make the numbers any easier to stomach. According to the Department of Labor, the price of ground beef and cheese are up 12% over the last year. And veggies have seen an even bigger spike. Lettuce is up 28% and tomatoes up 86%. But the biggest price increase? Corn on the cob, up 150%.
Obviously, corn on the cob is the biggest shocker there, and tomatoes, I guess, just because those don't really seem like rare items.
While they may not seem rare now, they could soon be as more and more growers abandon veggies to plant corn for ethanol gas. In fact, according to the Department of Ag, 43% of last year's corn crop ended up in gas tanks. Likely part of the reason that cob costs so much more this Memorial Day. Factor that into the rest of the barbecue, and the average price per person before drinks is around $17.
That does seem like a lot now that you're saying it and I'm actually processing it.
But process this. As the Department of Agriculture expects these prices to continue to rise, next year's barbecue could cost even more.
And it's not just the price of your barbecue. Everything from ice cream to coffee has gone up. And now several fast food companies, including McDonald's and Starbucks, have announced they are going to be raising their prices too.
Whoa. Have to go over to your house for my next barbecue. Will the LA City Council take over plans to expand the Griffith Park Museum space? Well, the Autry Museum in Griffith Park oversees the Southwest Museum of the American Indian in Mount Washington, south of Highland Park. And last week, the LA Parks and Recreation Commission approved the Autry's nearly $7 million expansion proposal. Some Mount Washington residents worry about the Southwest Museum's future. It merged with the Autry back in 2003, and by 2009, the Autry closed the Southwest Museum's doors to the public. Here's what we're working on for KCAL 9 News coming up at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It's an enduring love story. Up in space, Endeavour Commander Mark Kelly is counting the moments until he is reunited with his wife, Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. Ahead, Mark Kelly speaks from space about his mission and the love of his life. Also planning a summer vacation, take our summer travel quiz. You'll find out the answers to some popular questions about travel. They could save you a lot of money as well. We'll have those stories and all your late breaking news coming up this afternoon at 2 o'clock.
Actor Steve Martin is a victim of art forgery. Martin, of course, known for his comedies, books, music, even his art collection. But police in Germany say Steve Martin apparently did not know that a work in his collection for almost 2 years was a forgery. That painting is called The Landscape with Horses. Martin bought it for $850,000 back in 2004. He sold it 2 years later. Investigators say the painting was supposed to be the work of a modernist artist, but was probably the work of a multi-million-dollar forgery ring. Martin is not accused of any wrongdoing.
Oh, my goodness.
Certainly not laughing either.
That's terrible. Rich Fields has another look at our forecast. Hey, Rich.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Sandra. Yeah, we're talking about the high surf today, and the onset of a low-pressure system is going to pass us by to the north tonight. And the swells coming into the beach are all part of a disturbance that is far to our south, the southern hemisphere, actually, and the swells are just now starting to get to us. Nice shot here from Malibu. Looks pretty calm out there at this hour. All right, well, let's go get an update and see what's going on around Southern California as we speak. Currently downtown sitting at 71 degrees. We're hoping to top out at about 73 or 74. It looks like we're going to get there. KCAL 9's Doppler radar, you can see the onset of some of this high cloud cover coming in from the next trough of low pressure. It's not going to bring us any real weather, but it is going to cool us off, some of that high cloud cover. It's also going to bring us onshore flow. Checking out wind speeds through Lancaster, nearly 20-mile-an-hour sustained winds. Riverside, double-digit wind speeds. Folks in San Diego County experiencing some double-digit wind speeds, but everybody else in single digits right now. Here's our high surf advisory in effect till 9 a.m. Thursday. Waves 6 to 7 feet. We're looking for swells to about 10 feet, and an astronomical high tide tonight again at 8:45, about a 6.5 foot higher tide than normal, all because of that disturbance in the southern hemisphere. Here's the 5-day forecast for the beaches. 67 for the daytime high tomorrow, 73 for the valleys and inland empire tomorrow as that low pressure passes us by. We'll boost up again Thursday and Friday a little bit, only to trough back down for the weekend. And downtown Los Angeles and Orange County Metro, 70 for the daytime high tomorrow. Breezy Thursday, slightly warmer Thursday, Friday, and like I said, another trough of low pressure comes in for the weekend and cools us back off into the upper 60s. Dave, Sandra, back to you guys.
All right, sir. And that'll do it for us. Thanks for watching KCAL 9 News here at noon. Don't forget, join our street team at KCAL9.com. Share your news stories with us here at KCAL 9 News.
And remember, we're always on. KCAL9.com is the website. Be sure to watch KCAL 9 News ahead today at 2 o'clock. We'll see you right back here then. For now, the People's Court coming up next.
Waited too long and now face high rates? Not with us. Lock